Welcome to Vintage Coin Op Restorations and another Jennings Sortsman that I'd like to show you the innards of. This one's for you, Renee. Well, here we are in a Jennings Sortsman, and I want to kind of go over maybe a little closer than my other video I did sometime last week on a Jennings Sortsman. So you can kind of understand the payout mechanism and a little more about the tilt mechanism. Up here on the underside of the deck, let's zoom in as close as we can, you see these coils. We have 4 of them, and one in the center there, that's going to be your tilt. The tilt works and stops you from actually getting a payout. And the only way to test if it works is by actually having a ball in the skill shot. Okay, so we should be able to do this. So I'm going to put a ball in the skill shot right now, and as I come around, I'm going to reset the tilt mechanism, and I'm going to try to trip it. And you're going to trip it up here on top, where we're going to drop a smaller ball bearing, which sits on that little pedestal, and I'm going to simulate the drop. Just like that, that there stops the power going to the other coils that would release the power to actually get a payout. So now we got the payout, the coil back in place, and now we're going to actually do a payout. So let's come around. I'm going to need three ball bearings, and let's do the pheasant. The pheasant has 3 places that you have to get. Okay, we shouldn't have a problem with it, even though the machine is on an angle like that. And as I come up on top there, we're a little bit upside down, but pheasant, I believe we should get 9 tokens, or your nickels, basically. So I'm going to come around here, and after the game has been played and you run out of your balls, you know that you have to have your skill shot, and we have 3 of the pheasants. So this is how it works. Now, it seems to be always an issue that people keep on cranking this little handle on the side here that we see. They're cranking it like it's some giant slot machine, and it really isn't. It needs to be a little bit more on the gingerly side, because I'm going to show you the action that happens. Each one of these coils down there lift up, and it determines how far this gear. Well, let me see if I can show you the gear with the. Trying to get a good view of this thing for you. There you go. Okay. This here, as the gear goes back, it allows it to go one step if you get like 2 rabbits or a squirrel, or another one if you get a different animal. And we have the pheasant, so it's not going to give us the full payout. It'll only give us 9, because I think the full payout maximum is 12. But not only does it release these coils at the front of each coil, if you look very close, you'll see that there's also another. You'll see another piece of. You can see that shiny piece right there. It's a little finger contact, and you see them in the front of each one of those coils. And like right now, we are about to have a payout. So I'm going to try to do this really slow so you can see exactly what happens and why the machine seems to always jam. You know, if you slam this thing too hard, it'll never pay out. But right now, Okay, our coil is pulled out. And now watch this handle as it comes down. Right? It allows us to go through. Another one. And now it just stopped it. And it stopped it because there's only the 9 payout. And when it pull out, there you have it. Let's try that again. I can reset the coils on top here just by pushing my finger in here. Okay. We're going to do it again. I'm trying to hold a light here for you. Here we go. You'll see at the bottom there, that little, there you go, see? It pulls back. And at the same time allows this pin to go all the way up to the 9, up to the 3rd coil, which is your 9th coil. And as you release, it sweeps it 3 times, so that, because each coil, how can I explain? Well, here, I don't have to explain to you. You can see it right here. Each one of those holes holds 3 coins, and it allows how many times, if it's 3, it's going to let this thing pass 3 times, and it dishes out 9 coins. Now I'm going to show you. I'll show you try to if you go really hard on this machine, what happens. So again, I'll come up here and reset the machine. Okay, and now we should get another payout, but this time I'm going to hit it hard. Okay, see, it didn't let us go all the way. And then your payouts in the front. Something else that's pretty interesting is this coin mechanism. The newer machines, like 40s and 50s, they always had like a spring load that would pull back the machine on its own. But this one, you literally do have to put your nickel in, and as you push forward, it has an operation that it drops the nickel down, but you have to manually pull this thumb trigger back. It's too much for a spring to actually do the operation, because there's a forward operation and a reverse operation. As you heard, as you pull back, your coin drops down to the chute. When you do need to load the machine, if you'd like, you can just lay your nickels up on top here, right on the side, as I'm going to do here, and we're gonna try another payout. So let's get some more nickels in there. Another quick look at the actual ball lift mechanism. Fairly simple. Brings the ball up and out to the chute, and you have your actual ball shooter that is spring loaded and comes forward. As you can see, there's the actual chute for the coins. That's the vertical one, and after it gets completely full and there is no payouts, the nickels will just get swept into this angled chute, and that chute goes into the coin box, which is your overflow. This shock here is the shock that I don't know what you call it, your payout handle that's on the outside. It's spring loaded and it pulls it back when the operation is done. Also, the original machines were battery operated, and here we have a transformer, so we eliminated that. We'll go down and take a look at the underside of the play field, and it's fairly simple. As the balls come down into these little pockets, they meet and they push down and make the power go through this little contact. Let's see if I can do it. Hope you were able to see that. There's just a very small gap there, and as that pinball sits on this little handle here, it pushes down and makes the power go through. And we're going to come up here and take a look at your tilt mechanism. Well, the tilt mechanism, as we said, is controlled by, it has to be in a, you have to have the pin in the, I forgot what it's called a skill shot, and the power supply, or tripping that particular coil, is done up here, where it makes contact against the center of that post and the bottom of the cup, where you can see that there's a wire there, and it's being energized. And there's also, as you reset the machine, oh, there goes the balls there. You see that there's also a gas shock right here. Let me get a little closer. It just controls the drop of the cup around the tilt mechanism. And we'll take a look at that in a minute. The reason why those balls fell to the floor is, at this time, we do not, here, let me focus in there. We don't have the play field. Underneath the play field is a large tray. And right now we're gonna just pick up all those balls that we just dropped in there. So hopefully that's a closer look on the inside of a Jennings Sportsman. Do a quick look inside there. Pretty complicated mechanism, but at the same time, very, very simple. But someone did a lot of thinking on how this was actually going to work. But it's not a machine that, like I said, a lot of people think it's a slot machine. So they're going to go in there and try to push that handle, and you know, you can push the handle, but nothing's going to come out because it's being locked. It's being locked by that, right by that coil. You see that pin, and you're not going to be here. I'll try to push it down. It's not going to allow it to go anywhere. See, I can bring the handle down, but it's not going to do anything. It's relying on the power to pull that coil back a certain amount of times, and that in conjunction with the releasing of these, we got 4 coils that lift up, allowing that pin to go to a certain point where it allows you to spin that circle where those nickels are. Hopefully that made some sense, but just thought I'd give you a little quick peek inside the innards of Jennings Sportsman. If you have one of these machines, please give us a call. We're always looking to purchase these. If you have one that you need restored, you know, we'd be more than happy to do that for you also. You can reach us at 630-624-7466. Thanks for watching.